All right. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and our dear guests. I would have liked to say that in big plural, but I believe there is only one guest that we have now. Good morning to you. Welcome to All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club's 52nd meeting. A meeting which is still a way special for all of us Indians. I'm sure you know what I'm actually relating to. Let's take a moment to celebrate another monumental achievement. Our proud nation, India, has just landed on the moon, proving that when it comes to breaking barriers, the sky, forget about the sky, the cosmos is not the limit. We all, as Toastmasters, have our own targets, isn't it? Our own moons to conquer. So let's channel that spirit today and give this meeting an over the moon effect. One more round of big applause for all of us. I am Toastmaster Seetharaman. Seetha. I'll be performing the role of Sergeant at Arms at this 52nd meeting of All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club. To officially commence the meeting, I intend to mention that this meeting will be, as always, recorded. It's already started and shared for self-reflection purposes. So some parts of this may also be used for promotional material later on. A few ground rules before we start the meeting. Number one, as this is an online meeting, please put yourself on mute when not speaking. Number two, please do keep all our mobile phones in switched off or silent mode throughout the meeting. You may take 10 seconds to do that. We are only 6 of us. 10 seconds is actually too much. 10 seconds. Countdown starts. Perfect. Number three, do not interrupt when someone is speaking. Number four, please turn off your video if you're. I request the members, speakers, guests to refrain from talking on three topics. They are sex, religion, and politics. As I mentioned, we all have our missions to achieve our goals. Our Toastmaster Club also has a mission to take us all to the moon. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, let me invite our President, Sapnaori, Toastmaster Sapnaori, to deliver her opening address. A big round of applause.
Thank you so much and good morning and welcome. Hearty welcome to our area director for Area D4, Sachin. He is here on his official area director visit today. Yes, Falguna.
I wanted to also, since Sachin is there, can he play the Chi role as well?
Yeah.
If Sachin is okay.
Yes, I can take it.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Yes.
much, Sachin. All right. So a lot is happening in my life. Since I think whenever it's the new year of Toastmasters, something new always happens. Earlier in the last 5 years, I always went to the doctors. I was rushing to the doctors in the month of July, but this time it was rushing to the new house, which is still yet to be completed. I am still sitting amidst a lot of chaos, a lot of noise, a lot of dust, but nothing stops me from attending a Toastmasters meeting. Well, in the month of August, again, I was fortunate enough to travel to attend the Toastmasters convention, which was happening at Bahamas. It was a wonderful event, an event that we all should, if we get a chance ever, we either you get into the trio, you might get a chance, or if you can travel on your own, you one must attend. That conference is an amalgamation of different all Toastmasters across the world coming together. You will not only see communication, which is the WCPS, but you will also see how leaders are made. The tagline of Toastmasters, which is leaders are made, you actually get to see how leaders are made here. The candidate showcase, the candidate corner, the kind of questions that are posed to our board of directors, if when they want to get into the board, what all they are going to do for the organization. So it's not about the club there or the district there, it's all about the member and the organization directly. Those learnings are so great, and that experience in itself is so cherishing that I would encourage all of you. I know that this time it was a bit late, but next year when we get into the same election piece, and we have candidates for international directors and the executive committee, I would encourage my club members to go ahead and interview those every one of them. It's not about only telling them about your problems, but also trying to understand from them as to what they're going to bring they're going to bring to the organization. Apart from this, as we all know, that our region 13, which is the largest region in the world, is going to get split into two regions. You all have seen the new region alignment. I'm sure it was shared in the Toastmasters of Mumbai group, and it has also been shared by Toastmasters International. We will be region 8 going forward from next Toastmasters new year. We will be District 41, 98, 124, 125, 126, along with districts from UAE. There'll be like 4 or 5 districts of them. I think total of 8 or 10 districts will be region 8 going forward. And I am sure that we will have leaders who would want to sit on the board of directors, who will be moving ahead as international directors and on. So Bangalore down south will now move with will be region 13. Yeah, Sita will be part of region 13 and region 8 if he continues to have membership at both the places. So yeah, so Bangalore is going to get split with Sri Lanka, and I think Malaysia and all as well. So I don't have that alignment, but yeah, we'll be region 8 going forward. So, Girija, all your hard work from last year, wherein you've been aligning a lot with the UAE clubs and all, we are all going to be part of one family. So I think that alignment is going to come handy for our club, and we are going to fetch more members as well. So congratulations to all of you for all of your hard work that we do, actually, because we are the ones who are taking Toastmasters ahead to people who don't know about Toastmasters, spreading the word of it and letting people know that what a transformational journey Toastmasters is, what kind of transformation Toastmasters has helped us in our life, and that is what all that matters. But however, with this, thank you so much to everybody. I know that I was there on the stage collecting the award for the Select Distinguished District. We were the only district in the world who was Select Distinguished, and apart from that, I also got an opportunity for a sit down lunch with Dan Rex and our international president and all the other executive board committee members as well. So that was only because all of our members, all of you have put in all the hard work to put the district on that map, and I hope that we all continue. And I also hope that all our members come back, the ones who've renewed, they all come back to All Elite Toastmasters. They start with their journey. They are able to deliver speeches, contribute to the success of the club, so that we are able to contribute to the success of the district as well as the organization. And with this, I will now invite our area director Sachin to deliver his area director address. Over to you, Sachin. You're on mute, Sachin.
Good morning, all of you. Actually, after lots of announcement and good news delivered by Sapna, I think giving address, it's like a something I'm not feeling that comfortable, but because it is a protocol, I'm going to do it. I thought a lot. Should I talk? Because there are so seasoned Toastmaster, district director, and in front of them, what to talk? But because I was part of this club, and really the way the pattern of the meeting is altogether different. I think there is only one thing. Few years ago, I saw one interview of one celebrity, and in the past, he had encountered lot of setback, and he was on the verge of insolvency. So one person or that interviewer asked him that, how could you manage to come out of this huge setback? And for he and he that most of the time we restrict ourselves. Because I was a youth superstar, I was always thinking that I'm not going to perform anything on a TV screen. It is something inferior to me. And I was always thinking like this. But when I was undergoing when I encountered this huge setback, I thought, why not to perform? And this way he got a big assignment of altogether mega TV show, which was a blockbuster. He took that assignment, never looked back. No need to say his name. His name is Amitabh Bachchan. And the moral of the story is that most of the time we restrict ourselves. And over here, what I found that if we have a more member, then definitely we can take this club to the next level. But for that, if we remove that restriction, now most of the time there are some wise person who are saying that to go ahead, you have to take few steps back. And the people who do that, they go to the next level. So I think if we also adapt to that kind of approach, definitely we can take this club to the next level and we can also become President Distinguished Club. So on this note, I would like to hand over control back to the president of our club. Over to you, Sapna.
Thank you so much for that encouraging message, Sachin, from all of us. I wouldn't say, but we will definitely be there, at least distinguished this year, and set the bar high for the years to come. And thank you so much for the encouragement. And with this, I now hand it over to our Toastmaster of the day, Sita. Over to you, Sita.
Thank you so much, our President Sapna Hori, and a fantastic speech that we heard. Very, very motivating, Toastmaster Sachin. Thank you so much. With that, let me take this meeting forward. Once again, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests, whoever have joined. August 23, 6:05 p.m., 1800 hours and 05 minutes. India made history. A crucial phase of the landing. I'm sure all of you would have been hooked onto the television sets or whichever form you managed to see that miracle or the big monumental event that had happened. The crucial phase, if you observed, of the landing was when the Vikram lander was in an autopilot mode. Until such time, it was all controlled by ISRO station from Bangalore, where I come from. I need to feel that proud moment myself. But then if you see that autopilot moment, how did the Vikram lander at some stage very close to setting itself on the moon manage to do it all alone? It was actually using the images that it was actually taking pictures of. Using that, it was feeding those images into an engine, which had that sort of an intelligence, identified the necessary trajectory all in real time, adjusted the horizontal velocity and the vertical velocity, managed the right level of control, the breathtaking movement, and ensured that it slowly descended. That engine is what we would call as an automated intellect or an algorithmic intelligence. And if you've observed where I'm getting to, it is the AI or the artificial intelligence. I just thought for this session today, we should use AI and talk about the evolution of AI as a theme. AI for everyone suddenly looks like too much of jargons, Greek and Roman. I was wondering, how do I make that connect so that everyone could understand? We as Indians typically relate to three things, right? What are they? One is politics, second is cinema, and the third is cricket. And I decided to look at it something much more entertaining. And the reason also was everybody after the landing started using the Bollywood songs, Chand, Tare, and our great superstar, not Rajnikant, in this case is Shah Rukh Khan from Bollywood. Those references to Bollywood songs started coming up on advertising about how the moon had landed. So I just decided that let me explain this concept in a very Bollywood style of how AI has evolved from the very nascent stages to what today I'm sure all of you would be hearing about generative AI. What is it all about? How it has evolved? Is it all great? And that's how this theme has been conceptualized. Mere paas AI hai, Bollywood Paatashala. That's the theme that we have for today. Before I deep dive further, I do have help from our what we traditionally call the tag team to help all of us and specifically me as a TMoD run this meeting. May I call upon our grammarian and our counter for the day, Toastmaster Akshay, to come in and talk about what's the word or the phrase that we need to use today. Over to you, Toastmaster Akshay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sita, and once again, good morning to each and everyone. Today, I will be playing the roles which we call as timer, counter, and the language evaluator. I'll be sharing the guidelines for all the three roles. As a timer, I shall be showing you the cards in my virtual background, which would be the three color cards based on the time: green, yellow, red. Otherwise, it will be always blue. I shall also show a red card if we are running late or if we need to wrap up the agenda soon. I believe, given the agenda in the group, we have 1.5 hours of meeting. So similarly, I will be timing the entire. As the R counter for today, I will ensure and analyze how many of us are still using R's and Ums, given that we all are advanced speakers, and highlight the specific counts and the specific pillars which we have used, such that we can work on reducing them or almost trying to remove them from our speech. Apart from this, as the language evaluator, let me share with you all the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Keeping in mind the theme chosen by our Toastmaster of the day, Sita, the word of the day is cinematic, which means relating to characteristics of movies or the film industry. Today, in the context of Bollywood, Paatashala and AI, how it is being used, it refers to the artistic and technical aspects of how AI is being used in filmmaking. I hope that is what our Toastmaster today intends to. This idiom of the day is bite-sized drama, keeping the theme, both of going them together. It means just as computer bytes store essential data, this refers to the impactful bite-sized dramatic moments found in our Bollywood. So I encourage each and every one of us to use. Example sentence would be, today our theme spotlights the cinematic experience for all of us, and I hope we all deliver some bite-sized drama into our time when we are utilizing the Zoom spotlight. I shall also make a note of the good usages of language and not so good usage of language to summarize in the end. I encourage each and every one of us to use the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshay. But don't count this into the bad usages from my end. I was expressing my surprise, the fact that you have taken up all the roles and correcting the fact that I thought there was somebody else who are going to do another role. Thank you so much for taking all the three roles together. And the next element of was all about how AI has seriously influenced all of us. So let me take you to the early 2000s. Some of the movie names that come to our mind, the big popular one, 1990s, 2000s, the big Shah Rukh Khan hit. Anybody? The big four-letter word, four-letter
Kiran.
acronym. Four-letter acronym. It starts with D.
Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, DDLJ.
Exactly, right? Exactly. Thank you for that. Imagine those early 2000s. For us, if I really have to compare the evolution of AI was like those DDLJ, the Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge of the computing world. Timeless and lovable. How many of us have been like, sitting on those wonderful cinema theaters, admiring the way Shah Rukh Khan runs around those lovely fields of data and catching the trains of thought, isn't it? It could sort all our emails. The AI of that generation could sort our spam emails with the enthusiasm of the great Anil Kapoor in the Mr. India, unseen but impactful. Like the film Kabhi Kushi Kabhi Gum, AI was all about family values. Isn't it? Many of you and all of us, I'm sure, would have watched Kabhi Kushi Kabhi Gum. Everything was about the family values, and AI definitely was all about it. Good at heart, but with all the excitement of an arranged marriage meeting. Was there? Yes, it had some element of fun, but if it has to have something abnormal, something extraordinary beyond sorting our Gmail, there was nothing like a Chuck Day moment for that sort of an AI. So that is how we have all seen the early stages of AI evolution. We will deep dive more into how the DDLJ evolution or the DDLJ portion of AI graduated itself into the next set of machine learning. And I'm giving you a hint, the Gully Boy moment. Before we go there, I just wanted to go into our meeting today and look at how are we going to run this meeting. A standard Toastmaster meeting has 3 sessions to it. The first part is the prepared speeches. We do have one of our speakers today who will be delivering his speech. The speech will be between 5 to 7 minutes, and we will have an evaluation post that speech as well. Once that prepared speech section is over, we will move on to the table topic round. We do have our table topic master today. So once the table topic session is over, we'll then go into the general evaluation category. So this is how we would have those 3 sections for today's meeting. Before I call upon the lead coach who will be talking about the speech title and the evaluation guidelines of our target speaker, I just wanted to also mention about the evolution from the DDLJ movement. From the 2000s, we evolved into what I would call the machine learning, which actually changed everything, shaking things up like the Ranveer Singh of in the movie Gully Boy, full of hustle, saying "Apna time aayega." It dabbled into those huge amounts of data, what we call big data, making all of us believe that indeed koi mil gaya, something is found out in all this data, the hidden data, something meaningful in the sea of data. That's how the evolution happened from the DDLG to the Gully Boy movement. And I'm sure this would have really kept you exciting in what next for us. But I'll keep that suspense for now. And may I now invite our lead coach. I believe our lead coach is Sapna, Toastmaster Sapna. Thank you for raising your hand. Who will speak about the objectives of today's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Sapna.
Thank you so much for that, Toastmaster of the Day. Just an addition, I will also be the content coach for this speech today. Our speaker today is attempting his Project 1 evaluation and feedback from level 1 of persuasive influence. The purpose statement of the project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate their ability to deliver an effective, respectful speech evaluation speech. With this, I hand it back over to our Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, lead coach and content evaluator as well, Toastmaster Sapna, for that. May I now invite our target speaker, Toastmaster Jay. Could we have the screen switch to him with the focus? Fantastic. And do we have a timer ready? Timer cards? Fantastic. Thank you so much. Nothing is permanent. Toastmaster Jay. Toastmaster Jay, nothing is permanent. Over to you.
Presiding officer, Toastmaster of the day, and fellow Toastmasters. We are hearing this phrase, nothing is permanent, but still we believe, yes, my comfort, my situation will never change. I will live forever, I will never die. No, no, it will never happen. My children, today I'm loving them. They will keep loving me also in future. The bonding which I'm having with my friend that will never ever change. With that thought we build. With that thought we start. But what happened after some time? Can the same cinema continue like before interval and after interval? Situation changed drastically. Let me share few experiences and then you will realize why I'm saying this. There was a moment in 2002 when I had joined one company, Satyam Auto Components, and I joined there as a purchase engineer in purchase department. My job is very much simple. I have to check in the system how many components required. Then I have to create the purchase order and then just one click and the purchase order will directly shoot to the supplier. Supplier will deliver material. I have to just cross check and topic close. Simple, nothing. Five orders or 5,000 order. The process is always same. Within 1 week, I learned it. I became an expert in this. I was really very happy. But after some time, my boss called me. Jay, hey, come here. Come here. What have you did? Sorry, I'm not able to answer. What happened, sir? I'm asking you, why have you given this order to Ram Lakshman Engineering, not to the Mahesh Works? I say, sir, Ram Lakshman Engineering has given the less cost. That's the reason I have given to them. Then the word which he was said that I can't take one by one, but let me tell you the impression. You are a stupid guy. I don't know who hired you in this company. You don't know the basic of an engineering. You don't know anything. But the hell you did. Do you know that because of you, we had booked a loss of more than 3 lakhs? I was still surprised, calm. Hey, what happened? I checked everything in the system. I checked the details once again. The Ram Lakshman Engineering was asking the less price compared to the Mahesh Works. Then still my boss is saying we booked the loss. After some time, in second half, I went to him and then I asked, sir, I'm still not getting your point. Apology for this one, but please let me know. He said, Jay, have you forgot there is one line? The taxes are as applicable. Yes, I read this is a normal line in each and every purchase order. You stupid. The Ram Lakshman Engineering is in another state. And all the taxes, transportation between two states, that will be counted here. And those taxes are 30% of the purchase order. If the Mahesh work is asking 5% more, but still 25% cheaper than that. I took that feedback really carefully. Then I asked him, sir, I accept this is my mistake. But this mistake, I can't say it will not happen in future because I don't know the system. Then again he said very beautiful line. Your ignorance cannot be the reason of excuses. You have to learn it. You have to understand it. At that point, my friends, I started to took his each and every feedback carefully. I created a roster and then I was keep noting down them. And when I had joined that company as a diploma engineer in purchase department, I started to learn the new system. I asked him what I have to learn, what I have to do. He said, if you are doing the 8-hour job today, then it will keep continuing. You will get the same results. You have to work more than 8. And whatever you do after 8, that will be counted in your success. Then I started not only the project purchase. Why not the let learn our quality? Why not let learn about the R&D? And today, my friends, I'm working as a program manager in world's number one company, Mercedes, for the interior designing. And that happened just because of him. And let me tell you one more incident which he has helped me. He told me, Jay, diploma is nothing. Forget about it. Learn little bit more. Then I completed my BTech. from IGNO. Then Symbiosis I took for my PGD in operation and definitely the finance because of my failure in the purchase order. I took it really seriously, and when the job came into Mercedes, more than 19%, not 90, not 90, yes, 99.0% employees from my company applied, all failed. Almost all failed because they were never aware what to do in the quality, what we have to do in the purchase, what are the parameters of the regulation and fines, how we could save the cost. My friend, including all, because I was the alone one in that interview who was the maximum qualified, who is having the knowledge of each department. That helped me to secure that job, and just because of his feedbacks, taking care it seriously and worked upon that, situation changed. And because of this only I'm standing in front of you. My friend, my mentor, my teacher, my manager is still is having the same level. Today I'm earning more than him, doesn't matter. Today I'm almost equal in level, doesn't matter, but he's my guru, he's my mentor, still he's helping me to succeed. And because of him, because of his one line, learn about communication, I joined this Toastmaster community today, serving the community as a division director for this team 125. With this, thank you very much, and over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jay. I would have to say there was a lot of cinematic element in the way that you were describing it. I'm sure our evaluators have taken a good note. Leave it to them to describe when we get onto the evaluation stage. With that, let me request all our Toastmasters here to take 30 seconds to provide a direct feedback on the chat that you have. Your time starts now to provide a 30-second feedback to our target speaker, Toastmaster Jay. Last 10 seconds. All right. Thank you so much. May I also invite our timer, who's performing all the roles today. I'm still amazed to see that the factor continues in me. So may I request our Toastmaster and timer today, Toastmaster Akshay, to give the timing aspects of our current speaker, Toastmaster Jay.
Yeah. Speaker Jay has taken 7 minutes 47 seconds to deliver this speech.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshay, for the timing that our speaker has taken, the time our speaker has taken. With that, let's go back to our topic on the Paatashala of AI. What was our theme? Mere paas AI hai, Bollywood Paatashala. We have seen how AI has evolved from the DDLJ lovable mustard fields, and then we looked at how it graduated into the machine learning, apna time aayega elements of AI. Hold your popcorns and your nachos, because the next evolution that we all witnessed in the field of machine learning was what we call the deep learning. No, I'm not going to talk about the neural networks of deep learning. We'll keep it simple. Deep learning is all about those multi layers of neural network. Have you all seen the movie Kahani? Kahani. Some thumbs up, some hands up. Yeah, great. I always, thankfully, two, three of you, definitely. You know, the plot, the twists that we have seen in the movie Kahani, that's exactly how the deep learning neural layers are. Deep learning actually brought all the dazzle and drama, doing everything from recognizing our faces to translating languages, making all of us shout all is well, like the movie what we have seen in Three Idiots. It was helping us to auto tag our friends in photos and suggesting what we all might be looking at. It really resembled the deep learning element as the queen in the AI world. Every time it recognized a cat, a dog, or a face in a picture, we all felt, I'm sure you all would have felt the same way, Mogambo, Kushwa. That was how the evolution of AI changed from vanilla machine learning to deep learning. With that, let's now move to the next part of our segment, which is the brilliance segment. And I am always a bit anxious despite having been in Toastmasters for a lot of time. And I do not know how many of you are, but it's a very interesting session. It tests a lot of how we are able to pick up a topic and speak just like that. So this is the session that we call table topic. We do have our table topic master here. This is Toastmaster. Yeah, thank you for letting me know, Toastmaster Girija. So may I hand it over to you to take us through the table topic session. Over to you, Toastmaster Girija.
Thank you. So this is the bite-sized drama that we are going to have right now, the table topic session. When you call it a bite-sized drama, that is something that is a small piece, but it's very interesting, attractive, gripping, and cinematic. Let's see how interesting we can make it. And what does a table topic session do? Table topic session brings the spontaneous speaker out. The genuine thoughts, the spontaneous thoughts come out. You speak off the cuff. And that is the beauty of the table topic session. And now, since we are all members here and in all elite advanced Toastmasters club, we have the habit that one person speaks, another person gives the feedback, and the person who gives the feedback will be the next person who will be speaking on the next topic. So as always, for the table topic session, the timing will be 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, and 2 minutes. So at 1 minute, you will have green, and 1.5 minute yellow, and 2 minutes red. And table topic session encourages us to listen well, to recapitulate whatever the other person has spoken, and then give feedback. That is what we get here, especially a unique experience in All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club. Now, today's topic is so very interesting about artificial intelligence. So who is going to be the first speaker? Hi. So
Hi.
Sapna has agreed to be the first speaker. Welcome, Sapna. Now, before the artificial intelligence ever came in, right? The artificial intelligence, we talk about that, like he was talking about how the cinematic experiences have changed the way we look at the world. So artificial intelligence is also about emotional intelligence. And because of that, only the artificial intelligence is improving. The machine dynamics are improving. The processes are improving. Language processes are improving, all because of the emotional inputs that they receive. Every organization is working on it, right? They're asking us to supply inputs, and then they are working on it. So my question is, do you see how children can be impacted by artificial? What are the applications that will impact children with artificial intelligence? How will it impact them?
During my time, when I was born, there was no artificial intelligence, so there was a lot of human connection. We used to go out, but I think very 13 14 years back, when my nephew was born, when he was 3 months old, I started seeing how kids nowadays are responding to mobile phones, and that's, I would consider that as an artificial intelligence. How keen they are to look at television, listen to the sound, um, and by the time he was 6 months old, he knew how to use that mobile phone, which even probably till date, even I'm not sure about all the features of an Apple iPhone 13 that I am using. I barely know how to use a camera, but nothing else in it. Artificial intelligence is really impacting the kids in a positive way, yes, because they are getting used to, or they have access to a lot of information around them, but yes, in a negative way as well, because when I have direct access to my nephew, so I can only relate to examples of those, that he's become a couch potato. The sleep pattern has completely gone for a toss. He's more interested, or he'll be up playing games on his laptop, on his iPad, up till like 3 a.m. in the morning. And the only time he sleeps is if you snatch it from him. He They prefer to be on the phone all the time. They'll create some WhatsApp groups or some Instagram chat groups and all, and they'll be talking. um the conversations are not as if a 13 or a 14-year-old kid should have. So, and the artificial intelligence has really impacted in a very negative way, is what I would say, on today's generation. It's, and for parents as well, they've taken it easier, that if a child is crying, give him the phone or give her the phone, and they'll stop crying. And but if you look at research, it's very much evident that if you're sitting on a table, if you're eating food and you have a phone in your hand, you will never realize how much you're eating, and then you will end up overeating, and you will never understand what you're eating. And this is what is happening to children these days. So we need to be really careful, as parents, as guardians, how much of access do we really need to give to our children in terms of using artificial intelligence. If there can be a slot, like we used to have a playtime slot, if the same slot can be given to the children, I think that in that quantity, I think that will be really good. That's about it. Over to you, Toastmaster, Table Topics Master.
Amazing. Yes, it has impacted children, and in a big way. Who's going to give the feedback? And he will be the next speaker too. So once you give the feedback, I'll give the next topic.
All right, I can take this up.
Okay, sure. Akshay, thank you.
Speaker Sapna, I really enjoyed how you mentioned the two sides of the coin of artificial intelligence in the life of a child. You mentioned the positives and the negative. What I would have really loved you could have done differently was ensuring that you state the memories which you have with your nephew in a story form, as to elaborate more, add more visual elements to it, so that I can visualize that bite-sized drama wherein you are interacting with your nephew on the positive and the negative in a dialogue form. That would have been more engaging, and it would have helped me visualize the complete scenario. So that is a feedback for you.
So what are the present applications of artificial intelligence that we use at present? And do you find any misuse of that also?
Good. As we all know, the cinematic experiences of Bollywood as well as Hollywood, which has taught us that in every bite-sized drama, there are outcomes which can be positively taken or which can be negatively impacted to our society. Similarly, what I've seen and observed, since I'm an avid AI enthusiast, or you can say someone who is actively working in the field of artificial intelligence, that there are both sides to it. Like the coin we flip, it has two sides. The grass is greener on the other side, as we say. Someone who is working in AI, I believe there are a lot of different applications which will help us ease our task or increase the productivity of human potential. But there are a lot of aspects which will degrade or help in a very wrong way. It will decrease the productivity of humans. It will decrease the creativity aspect of humans. In fact, we all will become couch potatoes if we are not focusing on how we need to utilize it. Couple of examples which I have for artificial intelligence. For example, the first one, we started with voice assistants like Siri, Cortana, and many Google Assistant. Nowadays, these are equipped with the AI's ability, wherein not only they are able to recommend, they are able to realize that you had brought in grocery at, say, first of the month. You had brought in a milk carton. Now, within 2 weeks, if you have timed your schedule, if you have given calendar inputs, it will be able to predict as to when it needs to repurchase it. If you have given it the access to your purchase ability as like some online platform, it will go ahead and purchase that for you. That is the power of AI, which is easy. But this, at the same time, there are critics all around the world who say that this will impact our ability to remember things. Who all remembers their phone numbers? Apart from our phone number and our parents, we do not even remember anyone else's phone number. That has what the technology done. And just imagine if the technology is able to think using AI, you will not even remember these things. So as I said, there are two sides. The other application which I believe is the usage of AI to make the concepts easier to be understood by majority of the people. This is, for example, wherein you have the concept of, say, explaining geometry to someone who is 3 years old, 5 years old. AI has the capability to summarize it in a much more concise way, as we have been seeing through ChatGPT, Google Bard, and many other such platforms. The other application which I believe will help in the positive is the creativity. The human mind is something which interacts and has a lot of rich experience. Adding those experiences to the AI and making it creative by just complementing our efforts is something which we should look for. But if we depend on it in a whole, then that is something which we will have to question. And with this, my time gets over. I have already shot 2:35.
Yes.
Over to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. So now, who is going to give feedback to Akshay? Feedback to Akshay. And the next speaker.
Yeah, I can take it.
Okay. Thank you, Falgun.
So I think it was a good logical take on AI and its impact, boon or a bane. Maybe what I felt is there were too many examples being given. Maybe 2 or 3 positives and 2 or 3 negatives. That would have sufficed. Otherwise, there was too much of information that was shared. That's what I felt overall. And that could have been more impactful. Yeah.
Okay. That was a good observation. And do you think that AI will replace certain jobs? And what are those jobs?
Yes. AI will in future start replacing jobs. To give an example, we have seen in Bangalore, one of the schools have started having a teacher, which is a robot. It is teaching the children, standing in front of the class, and children are listening, and it is much more systematic, organized, no fatigue. Okay, so that's something which is happening, and the roles which are less of thinking and more mechanical, there is a possibility of it losing out human beings and replacing them. That's where the human mind is, to say that it's much more vast. We will have to evolve, and the deep thinking work is what will be difficult for the AI to replicate. We don't know how the future it goes, but definitely more of psychology, more of behavioral science, something which may be more difficult for AI to replace, but which are more mechanical and more simpler in nature. There is a good possibility that AI will take over.
Right. Who's responding to Falgunan? Actually, I also found that in some restaurants, they are using, as waiters, and even in one airline, they tried. So everywhere you see that it is, there people are trying to replace people for cleaners in homes. In Japanese models, you have that. But definitely the emotional impact or responses, spontaneous responses, will always be dictated by the previous experience that has been assimilated by the intelligence. So if such an input has not been there, how will that machine react? That is a question, right? So
in fact, one of the greatest thing is if driverless car happens.
Yes, exactly.
Going
There is
on.
already experiments going on. Yes, you have Tesla's models happening, and then there were some failures too, and that caused a lot of issues. Yes. So who's going to comment now about for Falgunan? And I think that will be the last one.
I'm consciously not stepping forward because I'm doing the TMoD topic related to
Right.
that. So if I may request, I'm sorry to put you on a spot. Sachin, Toastmaster Sachin, if you could please.
There are lot of things when it comes to artificial intelligence. Some of the things Falgunan has commented correctly. But now the another thing is that the another flip side, now we came to know that these can be the possible changes. Then how are you going to prepare for the future? Because artificial intelligence is going to affect on almost each and every field, not something like some of the specific field. So considering that now 3 years, 4 years down the line, what can be the possible impact onto the particular your field, considering that how are you going to prepare for that? So if you don't prepare, you become obsolete. So that can be the ending point, which can be the even more impactful. So I think if that would have been there, it will be more impact. That's okay.
Thank you. Now, for your question, I think Sapna will give the feedback, and with that, we will close the loop. Now, the question to you is, you were just talking about how it could be ending it. Now, you see that artificial intelligence is being used for robots. He was talking about teachers taking the robots taking the place of teachers. So probably in medical profession or as a nurse or in a hotel, would you be comfortable having an artificial intelligence powered robot around you instead of a human being? How much would you be comfortable? If you had a doctor or a nurse, instead of a doctor or a nurse, human being, if you had a robot that is powered by artificial intelligence working with you and probably doing a surgery with you, how comfortable would you be? Would you be comfortable or not comfortable? If whatever the answer, why?
Is Sachin thinking, or
I think it's frozen, or I don't know.
I don't know. Sachin, you're there, right? You're able to hear?
You're able to hear my
Yes, yes.
question? Yes. Are you
Yeah,
thinking of an answer?
According to me, if they don't give you any other alternative, then there is no choice. Then you will adopt it. But if you are having another alternative, definitely you will look into it. Now there is another flip side of it. If they put one option which is more expensive, like if you want to offer avail human interference service, and if it costs 25 lakhs, whereas robo is giving service to you within 1 lakh rupees, then but obvious people will adopt to the 1 lakh rupees only. So it is altogether upon depending upon the what kind of choices or alternatives you are having. And if you are having, if you don't have any other alternative, definitely you will adopt it. That is my take on it.
Over to you, Sapna.
Yeah, I think it was more like a question answer round. And it was a, I'm not really sure if there was a story that could have been weaved into it. But listening to Sachin, since I'm not from an AI background, I'm actually loving the entire meeting today, getting to know AI in a much more fun way. I think I love the response wherein Sachin mentioned that it totally depends on the alternatives that we have. And if we don't have an alternative, we just have to go by what's given. That's about it. But I think, yeah, nothing more, not much of a feedback on this one. So thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you. So if there is a choice, probably it is not only going to be the cost factor that is going to determine, right? The reputation of the particular hospital, how well, how much of experience that particular model has been there, and then that what has been the past record, how many patients have been have gone through that experience, what is it? So you will look into so many of these things. Your life is not just about money. The experience is all about that. So I was just reading about this GPT-4, and something very interesting came to my this thing. So there was one input that was given to GPT-4. Explain the plot of Cinderella in a sentence, where each word has to begin with next letter in the alphabet from A to Z, without repeating any letters. So immediately, the reply that came was so beautiful. A beautiful Cinderella, dwelling eagerly, finally gains happiness. Inspiring jealous kin, love magically nurtures opulent prince, quietly rescues, slipper triumphs, uniting very wondrously, senile youth zealously. Imagine how it manages that. Similarly, there was an input given. Andrew is free from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Joanne is free from noon, 2 p.m. to 3:30 and to 5 p.m. Hannah is available at noon for half an hour and then 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. What are some options for start times for a 30-minute meeting for Andrew, Hannah, and John? So for a virtual assistant, this can be so helpful. The output was, here is a list of their availability. Andrew, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Joanne, noon, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Hannah, noon to 12:30 p.m. and 4 to 6 p.m. So based on their availability, there is a 30-minute window where all three of them are available, which is from 4 to 4:30 p.m. So the meeting can be scheduled at 4 p.m. So you don't need a virtual assistant will take place of all this. So that was so very interesting. But another problems that most of the teachers are facing is, now you give a topic and they're using ChatGPT and people are coming up with essays. Students are coming up with essays. Now all the organizations, universities are now trying to, they have to put in every laptop and computer of the teachers the software to find out if they have used ChatGPT or if it is original creativity. So that is one test that all teachers have got to do now. That is another issue. And where students have the ability to generate it and then copy it on a paper and submit in Indian schools, where the teachers are going to find out. That is the question. So all countries where there is no economic parity, there people who are economically advantaged will certainly be in a position to defeat those who are in a poorer place. So let there be fairness. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Seetha.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Girija. It has to be a question answer session in a way, given that AI as a concept itself has got a lot of pros and cons. So given that the theme was all around AI and the way that you had run it, thank you so much for that. Every one of you had provided your bite-sized view for it or against it. Some of you, both the pros and cons put together. So fantastic explanation. May I now call upon our timer for providing the timing report for all the table topic speakers. Over to you, Toastmaster Akshay.
Thank you, Seetha. In the bite-sized dramatic round of table topics, our speakers have employed their interactions and experience with AI to give us a cinematic flavor, and they have utilized their time as follows. Speaker Sapna took 2 minutes 28 seconds. Speaker Akshay took 2 minutes 35 seconds. Speaker Falgunan took 1 minute 15 seconds. Speaker Sachin took 48 seconds. With this, Speaker Sachin stands to be not qualified, as he could not utilize the minimum specified time for the table topics round. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay, for the timing report. Moving on, we spoke about some of the pros and cons. Some of the table topic speakers did touch upon the challenges that AI provides. Before I jump into the Mere Paas AI Hai, the Bollywood way, I just wanted to add a couple of nuances around it. I've been working around AI for the last 6, 7, 8 years now, with so many different corporate specific projects being implemented. And on a personal level, on an academic level, some of us got together and tried something called Eye for the Blind. Eye for the Blind. How many of us have all seen so many of, I mean, all of us, in fact, with thankfully, with everything working, seen so many photos, so many pictures, so much of entertainment, the happiness that it gives us looking at albums. Why not we provide the same level for people who are visually challenged? How about an AI model which would have been trained on amazing layers and layers of photographs? And if for example, if I act blind now and I take a picture in front of me, it's probably an image of Chandrayaan 3 landing on the moon. Imagine the sort of a narration it could give for someone who is visually challenged. That's the power that AI can give. It can bring in happiness. Look at the long queues that today we have for neural surgeons or a brain surgeon or some of the complicated surgery. We would definitely have a remote based connection through AI to help, and the real specialist surgeon calling out what need to be done to a junior surgeon here who would be operating. That's the sort of big change that AI is expected to bring, despite those issues related that we have two sides of the coin. So with that, let's quickly jump on to the fantastic world. Mere paas AI hai, Bollywood Paatashala. We've seen about deep learning. We saw about evolution from DDLJ to deep learning. Just when we all thought that we had it with deep learning, the Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara movement entered what I would call the reinforcement learning, the Bahubali of AI. And what's the famous dialogue in Bahubali? Everybody, we all kept talking about it. What is that famous dialogue? What is the famous dialogue in Bahubali? There is this character who ended up killing somebody.
Katappa.
Yeah.
Katappa
Why did Katappa kill? Why did Katappa kill Bahubali? That's the question, right? So reinforcement learning was completely based on that. It kept checking: are we doing the right thing? Why is it? If the machine learning model or the engine did the right thing, it gets a bonus or a reward. If it does the wrong thing, it gets penalized. Those questions kept on being asked on the engine. So similarly to why did Katappa kill Bahubali? So it learned from these actions, and it in fact through multiple iterations became super cool. And we've been hearing about AlphaGo and all those fantastic reinforcement learning models, including the self-driving cars that Toastmaster Folganen was talking about. And with all of that happened around reinforcement learning, then came the superstar Rajinikanth, or for all you guys from Mumbai, I have to give this to you, fine, Shah Rukh Khan moment. The large language model, or the Gen AI, generative AI that evolved. It was actually the Dil To Pagal Hai sort of star moment, right? The minute we saw it, we all loved it. Toastmaster Girija narrated those fantastic things. And I could see the passion in the way that she was saying how the Cinderella story got narrated with A to Z being picked up in all those expressions. So we had a lot of these large language models that we are talking about, and I'm going to just subtly get into some nuances. We can't keep it totally Bollywood style. Just bear with me for 1 minute. We had OpenAI GPT-4 that Toastmaster Girija spoke about. Then Llama 2 came out from Meta or Facebook. Then we had Palm 2, which is from Google. Then we had Cloud, Cohere, Falcon, and on and on and on. And if he had our Sunny Deol looking at all of these releases, I'm sure he would have said, Tariq pe Tariq, Tariq pe Tariq, what is this happening? One day after another, new models coming all along the way. But these generative AI actually has a huge sort of benefits for all of us. Looking from a healthcare perspective, they can actually sift through unbelievable numbers of medical journals at the speed of what should I say, the Chakte India hockey match, the movie that I'm referring to here. In entertainment, they can recommend personalized content that hits our emotional chords faster. I should say, like the songs of "A Dil Hai Mushkil." I really loved that movie and the songs in that movie, "A Dil Hai Mushkil." And speaking about other applications in legal, they can digest laws and all that related to the legal terminology so fast as those Doom 3 bikes that we have seen when the movie Doom 3 got released. So they will all whip up poems and write code and create jokes and make business reports sound less Suryavamsham. I hope I am pronouncing it right. Suryavansham movie, and more of the Dabang type. And not to forget those Kabir Singh's love letters. It can just cook up right, just like that. So great time for all our bachelor boys out there and girls, of course. So some of these Gen AI companies, if you're following the news, have actually gone on super valuation numbers, excellent valuations, probably competing with Rajinikanth's Jailers movie box office hits that we are talking about of late, the numbers that the movie is garnering. So with that, let me now go on to the last section, which is about the evaluation, the general evaluation. May I invite our general evaluator, Toastmaster Sachin, to take us through this last session on general evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Sachin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Seetharaman. Feedback is a bread and butter of the champions, and this is the most important thing. The most important thing to join Toastmaster to improve ourselves. And when you get the right feedback, then only there is a scope for improvement. And in general evaluation round, we concentrate on providing feedback. We adopt CRC method for that. C stands for comment, R stands for recommend, and C stands for comment. In general evaluation round, there are 3 segments. Evaluation of the speech given by the prepared speaker. Thereafter, report of the all role bearers, and the final round where general evaluator is going to give feedback on the overall conducting of the meeting. So let's start with our evaluation round. Our next evaluator is someone who has been a Toastmaster since last more than 10 years. She is also a distinguished Toastmaster, and moreover, she was district director of our District 98. And in her tenure, we have also achieved a milestone of Select Distinguish. Let's welcome her with a big round of applause, our lead coach of the day, Toastmaster Sapna. Over to you.
Thank you so much for that, General Evaluator. I think the district director role is now going to sink in slowly and steadily. All right, so I am the lead coach for our speaker for today, Jay. Before I get into, because I'll be the content coach plus the lead coach, I will be giving my feedback at the end, and I would request a language coach. Right? We have a language coach, or is it just me? Together, I'm doing it.
Delivery
Delivery
coach.
coach.
I'm sorry,
Delivery coach.
Delivery.
delivery coach,
Wherein
right?
the
Yeah,
counter is Akshay.
correct. So Akshay will be doing the delivery coach, or
No,
Falgunan
I
is
will be-
delivery
we-
coach.
you're the
Grenadier
delivery
and our
coach?
counter is Akshay.
Okay, I apologize.
Akshay is the
So
language coach.
all right, done. I apologize for the confusion. So I'll hand it over to Falgunan to give his evaluation for the speech.
Thank you, lead coach Sapna. The best thing for the speaker is to stand and deliver the speech, which we saw Toastmaster Jay doing it, which displayed professionalism and focus in the speech. However, one of the aspects when we are standing and speaking is to see that the camera is at the level of the eye. Else, it looks different. And that's what happened here, where the laptop appeared to be kept at a lower height, and the Toastmaster was continuously looking on left side down, thereby losing the eye contact with the audience. That's something which can be taken care of. One of the feedback which was received in the earlier speech for the speaker was while going through the transition, the speaker could have used a different body language or energy to showcase the content. That's exactly what I saw the speaker doing it while doing the role play in a cinematic manner. He used a different voice for the boss while standing on one side of the screen and delivering the emotions and the gestures. So there was a good voice modulation in the beginning when you started to play the role of the boss. However, the same vocal variety was not displayed throughout for the boss as you continued. That is one aspect which can be taken care. You went back to your normal voice. The hand gestures can be used more meaningfully. That's what I felt. It was not done effectively. You were moving your arms, using it, whether it can be used effectively with the content that you were delivering. That's something which I would request you to focus upon, because that will really help to enhance the quality of the speech. So eye contact, as I mentioned, it was missed all throughout the speech as you were looking left down corner. Also, I felt the space could have been used in a better manner. Thank you. I see the time up and I give it back to you. So,
Thank you so much for that, Falgunan. I will now present my evaluation for the speech. Nothing is permanent. I love the topic. I think it was a very hard-hitting reality for all of us, wherein we all want or we all desire as humans that everything should remain permanent, specifically whenever we are in a happy moment or there are, there are good things happening, we all want it to be permanent. But yes, as life has it, there are always ups and downs, just like the blood pressure on a monitor screen, wherein it keeps going up and down, and that's how life is as well. And that's where AI also comes into picture, right? Moving on, this was your second speech from feedback and evaluation, and as per I had asked you, like, what was the first feedback that was given to you? And you said there were two major aspects of it. One was voice modulation, which has already been covered by our delivery coach, and the second one was conclusion. So the basic aspect of any speech which is given is to have an opening body and a conclusion. You had a very beautiful opening, and it was a very catchy opening for all of us, because the moment you said nothing is permanent, I could see Girija having a big smile on her face and she could relate to the topic, and that's what caught my attention as well. I wanted to hear more. And then you beautifully started and you weaved into your story of how you started off as a simple purchase engineer the way back in 2002 in Satyam, how you made that one mistake, right? And then from that mistake, how your life changed. You worked on yourself. You worked not only those 8 hours were probably for the purchase engineer job, but after beyond what 8 hours happened is what is your life today as a program manager in Mercedes, right? However, I think the conclusion, that feedback was, you did not do justice to it. So the first thing, when you started off with nothing is permanent in life, I would have wanted you to conclude your speech relating to it. And your conclusion could have been that, see, where you were when you started off with being a purchase engineer, it was a very simple job for you. But how now you are where you are today. That is that aspect of it wherein you made that mistake is not permanent in your life, but a mistake cannot write you off, but a mistake can help you to be successful in life. So I think that entire conclusion and connecting to where you began in your speech is something that you still need to go ahead and work upon. For voice modulation, again, the delivery coach has already informed that yes, there was only voice modulation during the scenario wherein your boss comes out and talks to you, but beyond that, there was no voice modulation in the entire speech. However, in addition to that, I would want you to keep a very close watch. Probably, I would suggest that you can start recording your speeches before you come ahead and you deliver. There is a sing song tone that comes out in your speeches a lot, which is more like it becomes the way we have. Some people have a habit of speaking in triads, like they'll speak 3 4 words and then they'll take a pause and then they'll speak 3 4 words. With you, it's a sing song tone, so it keeps going in a singing manner, which at times will make a listener lose the attention on for the entire speech and the topic. So overall, I think you did a fairly great job in delivering the speech and delivering a story, which I'm always fond of, wherein I want to understand what how you are and how your personal life has been. However, I would have loved to see you concluding and connecting it to the beginning of the speech, and also concentrate and be more conscious on your delivery piece in terms of how your voice is it going straight like mine is going straight. I don't have a sing song tone, so that it can help you improve and deliver far more impactful speeches as well. Thank you so much, and I hand it back over to the general evaluator. Sachin, over to you.
Now, I would like to call our role bearer to provide details regarding all the roles. Let's welcome with a big round of applause Toastmaster Akshay. Over to you, Akshay.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So first we are going to size with just start with the timing taken by our coaches. So Palgunan in the delivery coach share his feedback in 2 minutes 41 seconds. Even we had 2 minutes of time, so he has overutilized it. Sapna had 2 to 3 minutes of time given she was delivering two different coaches' evaluation or feedback. She has taken 3 minutes 36 seconds. Again, 6 seconds more as per the time. Moving forward, we are on time within the meeting, 11:20. We have 10 more minutes left to wrap up the meeting. Let's go ahead and dive into the R's and Ums. Speaker Sapna was flawless when she started the meeting as a presiding officer. Sachin also was flawless when he was addressing the club. There was a couple of pauses, but otherwise he was flawless. Sita was flawless till the second half. After table topics, there were a couple of arms utilized. There was also repeat of phrases like it, which seemed to arise while he was trying to phrase his content as per the speakers who have spoken. Sapna, while sharing the speech guidelines as an evaluator, she took and ah. Moving forward, Jay in his speech utilized a couple of fillers. Otherwise, there are a couple of short pauses which I felt were unnecessary, which could be transition with vocal variety or modulation. Girija used phrases like us, all, 2 to 3 times repeated. There were a couple of fillers like which were used. Sapna in her table topic utilized 2 fillers, which is and Whenever she was transitioning to speak about her nephew and coming back to the point, she was using this filler. All right. Sachin, in his general evaluation as well as table topics at start, uses one filler, which is when you are planning to start a new sentence or a new thought. That is the time when you use that filler. Now let's look at the language evaluators report. I'm happy that many of you have used the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Sita has used both of them. Falgunan utilized the word of the day. Girija has utilized both the word and the phrase of the day. I have used both of them. Now coming to the good usages of language. There were a lot of good usages: embrace, learning, guru, mentor, Paatashala. Although an Hindi word, but still it is gave a good context during the meeting. Gripping, emotional intelligence, couch potato, flip side, grass is greener on the other side, deep thinking, fatigue, mechanical, reinforcement learning, narrative. Now, not so good usages of language. We always have this concept of losing the very, very good can be excellent. And there is another concept called as more mechanical, can be machine driven. To lose the very and lose the more. There are a couple of websites which help us practice those. You can directly search in Google losethevery.com. That gives you a way to add very and an adjective which will help you give a better word, and that can be incorporated. Today, a couple of them were like, yes, more impactful, we can say effective, more expensive can be extravagant, more mechanical can be machine driven, most important can be imperative or more important can be shared as imperative. Not a tip, you can say lose the very or lose the more and most to have a word which is helping us improve and add more rich vocabulary. Now, there is another flavor which I want to include given the cinematic experience which our Toastmaster of the day included with the AI aspect. First thing is what I felt or which emotion was evoked when each speaker was speaking. Sapna, when she was sharing about her visit to the conference, the emotion which I felt was joy in her words. After that, Sachin, when he was addressing the club, I felt hopefulness because he has a lot of hope for our club to succeed. Sita, when he started his theme, there was a lot of curiosity as to how he's going to use AI and Paatashala together. Jay, in his speech, gave us that determination feeling. It was evoked, and I could feel that emotion very well. Girija evoked the feeling or emotion of reflection as to how AI is impacting us and what we need to look forward to. Multiple speakers in their speech in the table topics evoked the emotion of curiosity, amazement, awe, fear. These were evident. General evaluator, when he was sharing his feedback and ensuring that transitioning is being done, he was determined and confident. So that were all the different emotions which I could reflect and enjoy during this cinematic experience in the bite-sized meeting which we have of 1.5 hours. So back to you, General Evaluators, Toastmasters, Sachin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay, for such a comprehensive report. Now it's time to present my report. I think meeting room, they have opened it before the meeting, and when I logged in at around 9:45, it was open and the individual conversation was going on, so it was good. The another thing is that we started 2 to 3 minutes late, but we are going to complete on a right time. One more thing is that there wasn't a SA opening and the mission statement of the club, which we start with the mission statement of the club. I think that was missing. So I think you should take care of that, even if it is an advanced club. That is our base, and from that base only we go to the next level. Next thing, there wasn't any agenda of the meeting. Because of that, even there was some ambiguity who was taking which role, and the initial point, even naming convention was not there. So there was some confusion who is going to perform which role. So I think our agenda should be circulated at the right time, and on top of that, all the members should also update as per the naming convention. So it becomes easier for the other role bearer to identify. Apart from that, rest of all the members who are really very experienced, so they have performed their role really very good. Even if you take the example of our TMoD of the day, he has picked up a right theme, which is apt for the today's generation for everybody. And after that, even when it comes to table topic master, whatever the topic she has given, that was really very thoughtful. Lot of information and insight which we have got, we can think of that and accordingly we can prepare for the future also. Even the speech, and even the most best thing about this club is the feedback. The way you get lead coach, delivery coach, and content coach, I think you won't get this kind of experience in any other club. And whatever you get over here from this thing, it becomes really very helpful for you to go to the next level after incorporating and after hearing to such feedback. This is the beauty of the club. And at the end, the most important thing, now over here, 7 members are attending meeting. If we can increase these members to say 15, 20 or something like this, then altogether there won't be any burden on one person who is performing 3 roles simultaneously. Moreover, when it comes to evaluation, there also we are having scarcity. So if we can add even more members, I think the experience which members will get, that will be, even you cannot express it in your words. So I think we should concentrate on that and we should work on that. Rest of the things are up to the mark, and I'm sure that this time definitely at least we will reach on to the milestone of distinguished love. So on this note, I would like to hand over control back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Seetharaman. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Sachin. Thank you. Fantastic feedback, great observations. It's important that we look at every single feedback that you have done and help us improve every meeting that we are going to conduct from here on. Thank you so much for that. Picture abhi baki hai, mere dost. It's not over yet. Just like every Bollywood movies have those masalas and twists, we spoke about general AI, Gen AI, or the large language models. They can sometimes go full Judwa movie. Some of you coming from the yesteryears, duplicating problematic biases. They have their no entry signs, which sometimes they blissfully ignore, giving us content that makes us go, "Maine pyar kyun kiya?" They have those andas, apna goof ups. If you have remember the sort of goof ups that we have seen in that movie. Just like Ranveer Singh, all of us admire him in some form, for his fashion sense. AI, Gen AI, or any AI that you take is super bold, unpredictable, and absolutely entertaining. But at the same time, AI also presents lots of challenges ranging from, we already spoke of a lot of them, from ethical concerns to the risk of generating misinformation, making it powerful but potentially problematic technology. So as we wrap up this meeting and this session on Mere Paas Ye Hai, Bollywood Paatashala, we must acknowledge that even in the grand scheme of AI, with all its Jai Ho moments, we need to tread carefully. After all, with great doom, referring to the Doom movie, comes great responsibility. Otherwise, it's all doom. With that, may I hand over back to our president, Toastmaster Sapna.
Thank you so much for that entertaining and enlightening session. For a person like me who is just not into AI or technology, I think I'm going to remember, if not the name of the movies and how you related to it. So thank you so much for making it an entertaining and educating as well. Thank you for educating all of us. So thank you so much, everybody, for attending the meeting. And thanks, a special thanks to our area director, Sachin, who is here gracing the occasion and who gracefully accepted to be the general evaluator of the meeting as well. A sincere thank you to all our role players, especially Akshay for taking 2 to 3 roles at the same time, Girija for not being well but still coming to the meeting today, Falgunan, as always, being the backup for the backbone of the club, trying to fix things at the last minute and and ensuring that the meeting happens. Thank you, Jay, for taking up the role of a speaker. I think I need to buck up now that I'm back. I'll be like second Girija in the club, who's always ready with the speech no matter what happens, and then that's how we give points to the club as well. Yeah, but thank you so much, everybody, for this fantastic meeting. It was lovely. I think all of us are winners. No specific winners today, but thank you so much, all of you. And before I end the meeting, I think last few words from Sachin. Anything, Sachin, that you would like to say before we close off the meeting?
Everything is covered. So
Yeah. So, but we
yeah.
all want to know collectively as a club, Sachin, when will you renew with us?
Okay, then just give me some time. I will revert back to you on the same about the month
Okay.
when I
So
will be joining.
so Girija being the VP membership of the club,
Right
she
now,
will.
the thing is that even because of all this work, even I'm not attending my home club meeting on the Orators because
No, I
sometimes
understand.
I've yes.
We are online, so you don't have to
It's
go
okay.
anywhere to
You don't
attend the
have to
meeting. But
move,
yeah,
travel. You don't have to travel, right? That's
Yeah,
a lot of
sure.
it.
yeah.
And
So
like you
Girija will
yourself
be
said,
after
the
you.
feedback is from all sources. So please join.
All right. So with this, I officially close the meeting. If you want to stay back, you all can, and just chit chat. But otherwise, I think I would like to drop. I would like.
Let's take a
Yes,
picture.
Falgunan, you're saying something.
Recording can stop.
Speak.
Oh, yes. The recording can stop and we can take an ice pick.